Few things are guaranteed to get me excited like any announcement having anything to do with Dragon Quest. Doesn't matter if it's a re-release, a brand new game,
right,
a Dynasty Warriors type thing, a new movie,
そして最強の敵この夏空前の冒険ファンタジーがやってくるゲーマー様
or putting one of the legacy characters into Smash Brothers. Really? Still nothing? Come on, guys. Point is, I am always ride or die when it comes to Dragon Quest. I have been ever since I got my first one for free from Nintendo Power. And I will be for a long time, even though it's been at least a decade since I had the free time to actually finish one. It's one of my pure gaming happy place zones. As far as I'm concerned, the quintessential just right JRPG experience between Monster Hunter's relentless grind for grind's sake and Final Fantasy's head up its own ass melodramatic narrative fixations. So obviously I am psyched for Dragon Quest Walk, a new mobile title that aims to combine Dragon Quest classic aesthetic with Pokemon Go's well, just Pokemon Go, pretty much. Not just because I like Dragon Quest, but because I, yes, still sincerely, enjoy the casual novelty of Pokemon Go, and I say that as someone who mostly missed the Pokemon phenomenon the first time around in the actual games. Now, to be honest, Dragon Quest seems like an even more natural fit for the mobile augmented reality map-exploring genre than Pokemon Go ever was right off the bat. Yes, Go was successful and remains so, but it also faced early criticism for not having battles and other major focus elements of the franchise ready at launch, and instead being more of a treasure hunting and exploration game with some monster fighting than a Pokemon-centric experience. A JRPG like Dragon Quest, on the other hand, which generally features treasure hunting and exploring as main features apart from grinding, feels like a more natural fit. Plus it'll have slimes! Don't you like slimes? In all seriousness, augmented reality, or AR games, increasingly feel poised to be to the 4 and 5G mobile gaming era what the post-Super Mario Bros. Side-scroller was to home consoles in the 80s, the perfectly suited killer app of a genre that no one really saw coming, but turned out to be exactly what the medium was looking for in that moment. In this case, games that have both an active and passive mode of engaged play, effectively creating IP-themed gamified versions of smartphone and tablets' primary day-to-day functions for most people, looking at maps, organizing files, taking photos, and managing their social media. Now, as is often the case with mobile phenomenons, mainstream gaming is often quick to peg this kind of thing as having strictly vertical appeal, a big individual audience but not much room to expand outward. And Pokemon owes a bit of its inspiration in the first place to the monster capture mechanic introduced at one point in that franchise. The Minecraft AR title is a given because Minecraft is also map-oriented and ditto Mario Kart, but realistically, how many different variations on a concept can a market support? Remember what happened with MMOs? But that assumes that reskinning Google Maps with a video game is the only type of experience AR this style can be used for, which is an extremely limiting view in my estimation. Imagine, for example, a version of SimCity that allowed you to start from an augment of your own actual geographic surroundings as a foundation, or a mobile spin-off of Assassin's Creed that gave you a map of your current location as it was known to be laid out in a different century. Now that would be trippy. There's also the very now and in the moment possibilities afforded to the mobile console and or PC gaming integration, as seen with Pokemon Let's Go's ability to interface with Go for some features. A beta concept now, certainly, but the potential entices. What about a game based around defined physical prowess of player character, like a sports title, a fighting game, combat sim, that kind of thing, having a corresponding mobile app encouraging players to get their steps in or perform some other worthy day-to-day exercise that would be translated as strength training to their character later on, or visiting certain locations like libraries or museums in reality afforded an intelligence stat boost in an RPG. I'm sure that mechanic does already exist somewhere, but it could be integrated further in this fashion. And remember, we're still very much in the early days of augmented reality technology. The holy grail of this stuff, being able to read and render 3D textures over and incorporate it into live-action video on the fly in order to generate actual versions of game things things and real-life gags from the commercials for these titles is still a ways off, but it's closer than ever. And once it gets here, just imagine the kind of experiences we'll be able to create. You could, for example, do a Silent Hill game where you hold up your phone and tablet and look through the screen, and suddenly the whole world looks all Silent Hillized, and you can look around for clues and avoid the zombies and monsters and pyramid head and creatures. Fog. Constant sense of eyes watching you unseen from the grim hopelessness of the abyssal plain, yawning open to swallow your last shred of humanity. Okay, maybe not that one. Yeah, so potential. This has it. I'm excited. Metal slimes, all good things. Next week is E3, so check back here because we're planning to have some cool special stuff for you guys. And yeah, Hey, where'd I go just now?